Hey guys, I'm up here in northern New South Wales and I'm lucky enough to get, I'm thinking, the most creative free surfer in the world, Ozzie Wright. Artist, musician, jack of all trades, and I can't wait to get him on the Occ-Cast. Hey guys, welcome to another Occ-Cast. We're at Suffolk Park in Byron Bay, Australia, and I'm lucky enough to have probably the most creative free surfer in the world, Ozzie Wright. Ozzie, thank you for being on the Occ-Cast. How are you?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me.
No worries. It's a pleasure, a total pleasure. Ozzie, you grew up in Sydney, originally, Narrabeen.
Yeah.
Rich history of a lot of good surfers.
Yeah.
From North Narrabeen.
Yeah.
Simon Anderson, Chris Davidson, Nathan Hedge, the Fitzgerald boys, Joel and Kai.
Yep.
Good, very, very good surfers. And so you would have grown up, underneath them kind of. You're a fair bit younger.
Yeah. Well, no. I went to high school with Chris Davidson.
You did.
We're in the same classes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. It was a crazy town. Everyone, the standard of surfing's huge. So, and at every beach on the northern beaches and all the way over to Cronulla, the whole of Sydney,
Yeah.
it's probably the best surfing city in the world. You'd have to say, it's got the best surf out of any big city.
Absolutely.
In the world, and it's just little nooks and crannies and awesome waves. And the people reflect it, and no one used to work back then. Everyone just surfed their brains out, and you could get by on the dole, I think. I never had to do that, but...
No, lucky enough.
It's an awesome place to grow up.
Yeah, well, so you weren't actually, a North Narrabeen guy,
Well, yeah, I was a South Narrabeen.
Okay.
I was solo South Narrabeen.
Which is
Nazi,
which is the closeout that sometimes turns into Uluwatu.
Yeah, it's the psycho closeout. It's it gets so fun. It's just basically the space in between Collaroy and Narrabeen, the whole lot of it. I just roam up there, run up and down, and find peaks to myself all the time.
Spent a fair bit of time at Longreef too?
And Longreef, yeah. I used to run there all the way from Southie over the golf course. There's heaps of little reef breaks there, and it's also got a crazy bunch of surfers that had the real artsy kind of crew, the Longreef boys. Every club contest would end with 3 bands on the on the roof of the dunnies. And it was a real rock and roll sort of artsy crew. And we had all the reef breaks. I don't know. It was just sort of. I was right there, but there was lots of good surfers. The Granger boys and the Salakis twins, and it was unreal.
Nice. So when the Coca-Cola Surf Classic came to town, would you have been old enough to see that?
Hell yeah.
You were?
I used to, I remember, the only days I ever wagged school were the Coke Classic Northie days. I used to just walk over there in my school uniform and watch it go down. I remember the day, a real glassy day where there was real brown water. Mm-hmm. Bob Bain getting a couple of barrels, Tommy Carroll ripping. Yep.
Tommy Carroll.
And I remember seeing Dilma put the interference onto Tom. Stuff like that.
I remember that.
Remember that?
That was world title implications.
It was heavy. It was so heavy. But just all the goofies from the northern beaches, or the Sydney goofies were, that was Barton, Dilma, Bainey, you. Well, you're from Cronulla, but...
Yep, Southside.
Yeah, I used to love watching.
Duma. Damien Harbin was not North Narrabeen.
He was North Narrabeen.
He was?
Yeah, Duma.
Yeah, Duma.
100%.
He's not in there.
Oh, isn't he? Typo.
Type error. It's a very localised beach, really.
Yeah.
North Narrabeen.
Super intimidating when you're a kid learning to surf and you paddle out and
especially Terry Fitzgerald was quite intimidating back in the day because I remember when I was a grommet, he was kind of trying to send me in, being from the south side.
I've still never had a word out of Terry, but I'm good mates with Kai and Joel, and I was a real good friend with Liam. I think back in the day it was pretty rough, and I was a bit of a scaredy cat, and I was pretty shy, and they used to tie people to poles and rip their clothes off and all that kind of stuff.
They did, hey? Yeah. They really did.
Yeah.
So how long have you lived up here in northern New South Wales?
A year and a half. We moved to Byron.
Hence the move? Kids?
Kids and Miley's family. Her mum's up here and her sister. Okay. Rocky's cousins. And I don't know, Rocky's a natural footer. I thought it'd be good to get him near the pass. Would be a pretty fun spot to learn, and just a change too.
Yeah. How old's Rocky now?
He just turned 9 the other day.
Cool. Happy birthday, Rocky. And Goldie?
She's 3.
She's 3.
Yeah, she's loving it up here on the North Coast.
Oh, cool. You know, it's all about free surfing. You've made your career from free surfing. You go on a lot of trips. You ride for Volcom. You've had a lucrative career. Lots of films. Lots of music. We'll get to that.
You can't call it music.
You can call it music, Scoons of Doom. It's great music.
No,
You've got a cult following with that band, haven't you?
Definitely. No, like...
A cult... Did I say cult band?
No, it's cultural.
It's cultural. I mean, a
guess.
cult following. A cult following. You have.
Yeah.
You do. And you play many gigs through the year?
Yeah, we do. We're still kicking on. We did an Australian tour last year. We did about, I don't know, a 20, it was probably 15 show Australian tour.
All around Australia?
That was fun. We sort of followed the pro tour, which was cool. So we went to surf towns. We always go to surf towns.
Yeah.
And,
where'd you play?
The only towns in Australia are on the beach, really, aren't they?
That's true.
Except for Broken Hill.
You played out there?
Nah. We played Albury Wodonga twice.
Wow. That'd be pretty radical playing in Broken Hill.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what is going on?
The second show that we played there was empty.
It was empty.
We're not very big in Albury Wodonga.
How many people?
None.
None. What's the biggest crowd you played for?
I think the biggest we had was in France. We played in Biarritz.
Yeah?
That was like 30,000 people.
30,000, wow.
But they definitely weren't all there to see the Goons of Doom. But
yeah, you were undercutting bands.
We were supporting some British band, but
okay.
It was awesome. Big crowd. On the beach.
On the beach.
Yeah.
Epic. You played the Great Northern last week.
Yes.
You'd feel that's
your local.
That's
our local for sure now, because 3 of us live up here, but it always was our favourite place to play, because I don't know, it's just an awesome room, and Byron's a fun town.
So back to free surfing. You've always done it. Did you ever compete, like a little bit?
Yeah, I did a couple of QSs. I did the European leg for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, and I used to drive around with Paul Patterson and Sam Carrier in a van that we bought.
Yeah.
And we just had an awesome time camping in the forest, and it was unreal. I loved it.
Any results?
I think not really. Nothing to. Once I beat Curran in a heat.
You did not?
Yeah, I was pretty stoked about that.
No way.
That was at the Newcastle Surf Fest.
It was.
I beat Duma once.
Put that fella in your cap.
Still claiming it 30 years later.
So what do you think about pro surfing, and do you watch much of the WSL broadcast?
Actually, at Easter time, because it must be the time that I'm the most relaxed, home with kids, feel like I'm just lazy, so I watch Bells, and I love watching Bells. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I just watched Bells the other week, and yeah, it's
surfing?
crazy. Yeah, I was pretty stoked on it.
Yeah.
Pretty psycho. It's good to see Felipe just flying into airs so aggressively and so like confidently, and just linking him straight into crazy carves and stuff. Yeah, I'm actually loving the surfing. It's good.
It's getting to
shredding.
Fully next level. Hey, like I don't know if you saw John in Margaret River, but it wasn't actual
missed that. I only
aerials
saw
there.
a couple of.
You probably would have
saw
heard
a couple
that.
of calves
like through social media,
sick, but I didn't actually watch the.
Yeah, through you switched onto social media, like wake up and
check the gram.
Check the gram.
It's
you do.
I'm ashamed to say that it's an addiction that I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
It's
too.
gnarly. It's really it's a time waster, but whatever.
We were just with a good friend of yours, Ruster, and he does not.
I know. He's so good, isn't he?
He's pretty much off the grid.
abstains.
He abstains. Yes, he does.
As he does from lots of
things.
Bad behaviour and toxic situations.
Not like the rest of us.
No, he's a good man. He's a great man.
He's such a good man.
He's an inspiration.
And so, let's go free surfing versus competitive surfing. Who would be your favourite free surfer?
Favourite free surfer? Pretty good question.
There's a lot of them, because back in my day, there was not many at all.
Yeah, I know.
There was Margot.
Yeah.
There was Ruster.
Yep.
And that's Australia. I can't think of any else. And now there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's a bunch. But I mean, I feel like everyone's a free surfer because everyone free surfs. But
Well, I know.
But yeah, that makes a career without competition.
I mean, if you haven't got a contest singlet on, you're free surfing.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Yeah,
coming from me, it's actually probably not that true because if there's a contest coming up and you haven't got the shirt on, you may as well have it on because you're practicing for a heat.
Yeah.
So it's not actually free surfing. You're like, I'm going out there and I'm gonna get 2.8s, or I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
So then you switch over to another heat in your mind, or you watch if you got one on.
Yeah.
It's not that much fun because you're testing yourself all the time. Free surfing is fun, right?
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun. No, I reckon my favourite guys is I love watching Mason Ho. He's just totally mind blowing.
Yeah.
Most creative guy I've seen in the water. I reckon he's just amazing. He's just so fun to watch. And Noah Dean. He's a bit of a mind blowing surfer.
He is.
He's amazing. So talented. And he lives out the back in my granny.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
No way.
So I get to
is
surf
he
with him
here
a lot.
right now?
He just popped out actually, but he was here before.
That's it.
And who else is good? Creed's
Creed,
unreal, and
There's so many.
good. And sick. We had Christian Fletcher out here the other day for one of the older boys, and he's still ripping.
Is he really?
He's surfing good, like really good, ripping. And he'll tell you about it too. He
will.
I'm just getting better. I'm just pushing the limits a bit more and more. No, he's unreal.
I ran into him the other day. I was going for a ride on my bike, and at Kira, he was like there smoking a cigarette, and he had this weird mal, and he's like, it's just like, remember my dad's mal, and this is like it, but cut down, and then I just wanted to keep riding, and he had me for like half an hour. I couldn't get away.
Yeah, he's an awesome character.
Yeah, he's a classic. So, for our best guy on tour, favourite surfer, I know you don't watch a lot of it, but...
Well, for my favourite or for
Your favourite?
My favourite guy on tour.
He can be Brazilian.
Yeah, well, I mean, at Bells, I have definitely enjoyed watching Felipe the most, just because he's cracking the air, going for the air.
Yep.
He's sick. I love Wilco though, because I feel like he's just on edge and he's just surfing like out of his skin. He goes so hard that it's dangerous, and he's always about to fall off, and it's kind of electrifying.
Yeah.
And then I was loving Owen because he's just solid and like clinical and just big, like just this the length he'll get out of his bottom turn and just covering all this ground. He's
good to see him back.
That was awesome. I was stoked on his surfing. It's crazy. Yeah, the talent's awesome. Everyone's ripping.
What about changing subject, Dope Youth? Was that your first and last acting gig, or?
I wish it was my last, but I've done a bit more since then.
You have done a bit more?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Oh, I don't know. Nothing that you would remember. But no, I'll act if
the opportunity comes out.
Someone says that you got to act to get your free boardies. I'll do anything.
It's very sharky here around where you live.
Apparently.
Apparently.
I've only seen one, but I definitely...
Does it? Do you think about them when you're surfing?
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I don't go out in the dark in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll wait till the sun's up.
Yeah. It's very wise.
Maybe.
I'd done a road trip just a few months ago, and we rocked up just to Broken Head, just up the road, and my son Jay and we rocked up, and the waves were good. It was like 4 to 5 feet and good, not a soul in the water. And I wanted to know why. I was like trying to ask someone, was there a shark spotted recently? But there was no one around, and there was a filmer there, and then you guys are out there. No. And like, Jay, stay close to me.
Oh no, yeah, when it's your kid, I know.
Yeah.
Pushing Rocky in out the pass, and he paddles real wide, and I'm like, Rocky, over here, over here.
Yeah.
Like, even at the pass, it feels so safe, but you're still like, if it's your son, you're kind of a little bit like, get out of the deep bit.
So the boards. What are you riding at the moment?
I've been riding a lot of twin fins.
I'm
obsessed with 20s.
Yeah.
I just love how easy the speed comes, and once the speed's there and you didn't have to try anything for it, I don't know, I just feel like it's just so much fun.
So much fun. Can you do, because I don't know this, is it easy to do airs on 20? More easier on a twin fin than a thruster?
Well, the speed's there, which
Yeah.
makes it, that's a main ingredient, but sometimes the large fins, I reckon, are hard to pop out of the water or something, like in that last second when you're trying to project, like it's hard to spin or something, get the fins.
Make it
going.
hard to spin.
Yeah, but you can definitely get lots of air on a twin fin.
Yeah.
No, they're good for airs. I've been riding actually 2 big ones and like a little stabilizer.
Oh, you have?
That's a good setup. Loving that setup. I've also been riding a big long soft top out the pass a lot.
Oh, you have?
Like a 7.6 softy about this thick with one tiny little inside rail fin.
Yeah.
And it goes so good. It's super fun. Just like get crouched, just flying out and they're like doing these big roundhouses with no fin in the water, like slidey ones. So fun. And every wave you catch, you pretty much from the rock out the back all the way to the end.
All the way.
Long, and you just like, and then you run out and you're like, what? How good is this? It's like a different, it's like a water park.
It's a different sport.
Yeah, different sport. I love it. It's really fun.
One extreme to the other.
Yeah.
So Ozzie, who were your biggest surfing influences growing up?
Oh, mate. Biggest influences growing up. All goofy footers.
Oh, I'm sure. Thank you.
You'd be in the top. Definitely in the top
10.
3. Top 3. I reckon, it was probably Tom Carroll,
Yeah.
Occy, and I reckon Rob Machado.
Rob Machado.
Machado was just, when I first saw him surf at Northie in the Pro Junior, I was just like, whoa. This is sick. This is something new. I really struck a chord with me, and I was like, I was pretty like into it. Just the flow and speed. And
Epic. And he still surfs so good.
Oh yeah, he's
definitely left the world tour way too early, and I want to get that guy on my Occ-Cast, I'll tell you that much.
He's a good surfer.
Yeah. What's your favourite movie? Surf movie?
Yeah.
And what section? So
I also want to say Christian Fletcher was actually pretty
goofy
early on.
too.
He was goofy and.
Did you see some of that stuff that he was doing, like way back in the day, the airs, and because he was pretty much one of the first guy that was doing pretty legit.
Oh, for sure.
Big airs.
Yeah, I saw photos of him and I was like, whoa, this guy looks just like out of this world, like an alien from the future. And but he was so hated on by like nearly every single person in the whole of Australia.
He was.
He was just. Everyone's like, he sounds like his legs like the Harbour Bridge, and like basically that was it. His legs are like that, so no one liked him. But Davo actually, I remember I had one sleepover at Davo's house, and he had this video called Supernatural about Christian, and we watched it, and it was just like, whoa, like it was sick. He was doing crazy stuff, and then I saw all the Wave Warriors movies, and he was a big influence on Archie, and that was probably where I got.
I'm at Archibald. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Californian influence and saw that whole aerial thing because that really wasn't happening in Australia at all.
No.
And that was a big influence on me.
Oh, cool. And Volcom, you've been sponsored by Volcom for a long time now. How long?
I think it's probably definitely 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
My goodness. Epic.
Maybe more.
They've been great?
Yeah, they're unreal. Yeah. Such a good...
Let you do what you want to do.
Yeah. Oh, it was like, it was such a big part of my life now because, it was like, I don't know.
Not a lot of free surfers have had the same sponsor for 20 years.
Yeah, it almost felt like, because I never, I didn't even finish high school and I didn't go to college, so I almost feel like in a way that was like an educational sort of place for me. Like I'd go over there and the office it had the art department, the music department, skateboarding, the surfing, snowboarding. So there was just all these sort of people that were just, like professors of all those things, like really talented people. Everyone was jack of all trades, like everyone was in a band, worked in the art department, skated at lunch, went surfing, everyone was doing everything, and I was just like, whoa, these people are amazing. So it was like a real culture, and it was, I feel like it was a really an educational kind of thing. Like I feel like I studied there and learnt heaps from all the people, and I'm real happy about, being able to live this life.
Ever listened to a podcast before?
I've listened to a couple. I've listened to Ain't That Swell with Jed and Bourne. That could be the competition. Probably shouldn't talk about it, but it's funny. Yeah. And today I listened to the radio, and it wasn't a podcast, but it was
an education.
Amazing. It was like what we're going to eat in 100 years.
You drove up from Sydney back up to northern New South Wales today.
Yeah. We're going to have to start. We're going to have to eat worms and grasshoppers to get our protein because it takes too much water and land to produce beef. So basically, get ready to eat worms and caterpillars and grasshoppers.
Really?
It's going to be gnarly.
Can we fry them up?
Well, yeah, you can deep fry them. They'll be sweet.
Bit of rice.
They'll be
noodles.
Delicious.
It'll be fine. Soy sauce.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you, how is your art going? I know you're a really good artist. You were just showing me on your phone before that you could do the finger thing.
Yeah,
and
you can draw on your phone.
You can draw on your phone. But is it art every day? Like what's... I'm trying to think of music, art, surfing. Which one, do you just mix them all up evenly, or do you just go through phases?
There's definitely phases, but I'm a total surf Nazi, and I got to surf every day. But then I definitely draw something every day, or maybe nearly every day. It's it's a big part of my life. I love doing it. Just keep on doing it.
So
fun.
It's just like an even mix.
I don't know.
If the waves are flat, you play music.
And when winter comes around, that's when I start doing more art and stuff.
Okay.
And when summer comes around, it's more festive season. That's when the music really comes to the fore. Because we're a party band, for sure. But they all go together. Like, we'll do a gig. The other day we did a gig at the Northern. Fawn came around. We got like all these sheets from Vinnie's and just started spray painting these backdrops. And so we did art. Yeah. And then we had a jam. We're doing music. It's awesome. Nice. No, they all go hand in hand so well together.
And I've got one more question. And I'm not telling it. We're just going to leave it. It's got to be mine. Read my last question. Can't get it.
Can't get it.
What's next for Ozzie Wright? What's the future hold for you? You could have got it.
No, the
simple.
future, of course.
Yeah.
Future is looking bright, I think.
Nice. You got to wear shades kind of thing?
Yeah, like for sure. Like, it's going to be so cool. It's getting cooler. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really excited about it. I feel like I'm just entering a new phase and a new chapter, and I'm feeling like, I don't know, there's just, I'm really excited. I don't know.
Yeah, you got the kids.
Just left Sydney, just
Sydney,
sold my beautiful house that I loved, but it feels good because, you know, you just got to move on and change. And
fresh start.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, there's all kinds of opportunities to have fun and do the things I love with the people I love, more and more so. And so I'm just going to live it and enjoy it, take it as it comes and love it.
Ozzie, thanks so much for being on the Occ-Cast. Thank you.
Occ. Thanks for having me, buddy.
That's another Occ-Cast, guys. Yo!